Hey Josh, I'm gonna keep my microphone muted because I got music playing there. Alright, in case you guys are wondering what I'm doing, I put on there no commentary, but I'll chime in every now and then. This is a piece, it's Sephiroth, 1/6 scale piece. Excuse me, let me mute this over here so I can hear myself speaking on the other side here. So I need to mute myself. You have to forgive me, I'm new at this. Catch chat settings. How do I mute myself here? You have to forgive me, I gotta figure out how to. Oh, there it is. Okay. So. I don't know, can you guys hear me? Let me go back over here, maybe. See if I mute myself here. I don't want to end up muting myself. Anyway, what I am doing here is I'm removing any of the build lines. See, on a curved surface, you'll have those. No, they're not deep, but they're there. I'm going to hit this with a automotive primer. And this is going to be white, so I don't want anything showing through that. So I'm trying to get this. These are Sephiroth's shoulder pads. So what I'm trying to do is get them as smooth as possible because I'm going to see if I can paint him in sections because he's big. So that's all I got to get sanded down. But I want to be able to. Nah, I don't think that's going to be possible. We'll see. I mean, he fits really well. I just got to make sure. See, this part here is going to be the pinion because of the way the wing locks into that. So this is going to have to be glued down because this big wing right here, I want to break it. There it goes. It blocks right in there like that. So I got to be mindful of how I lay that down. Dominic, what's going on, brother? John Paul, how you doing? So I'm also streaming on Twitch, guys. So that's, I gotta be real careful. These wings are beautiful. Look at the detail on this, guys. Look at that. I'm trying to get it so you guys can, there you go, see it? I still got to go over and wash it, but there's some beautiful detail, and there's a few little spots here I got to clean up. But we'll worry about him later. Let me get this off to the side. Right now, I'm working on the arms here, and what I want to do is make sure that I don't leave anything there that you're going to be able to see once I slap the primer on it and start painting it. I don't want no surprises. You guys got any questions on YouTube there, man? Let me know. Put them in the comment there. I'll try to answer them as best I can. Now, as far as the music, guys, I know it's generic Streamlabs music, but I don't want to get spanked with a copyright strike. I got plenty of those already. Over 200 of those, 300 of those maybe. And I don't need the big hands. I don't need to get another one. Or have somebody monetize my work. So what you see me doing here is all the little bumps and ridges. I'm just sanding it smooth. These are from where the supports are at. So you just want to make sure you get them. I just run the blade right across them, like so. All right. These won't show here on the inner, but I want to get them so I get a good meeting of the two surfaces. See how that, now I had a gap in that, and once I cleaned that off and got those little bumps and ridges, look at that. Slid right in real nice. Perfect. Now this is going to be primed in an automotive primer, so most of these scratches and stuff, they're not going to be there anymore. You just got to be real careful you don't score it too deep. And that's what these, or this one that I used, is pretty deep. But I want to make sure that those little swirlies that you get at the top of a circle here isn't there anymore. So I'm just going over the whole thing now. make sure I don't have any surprises. There's some real nice texture on this. You feel the leather. That's gonna be real nice, especially when you're done painting it and you hit it with a very, very light dry brush, and you'll bring some of that out. You know, this will be more of a grayish black versus his pants will be, you know, his little, this part right here, it's more of a black. Same with his pants will be the same color as this, which would be a grayish black, but this will be a black. And then let me put this over here. And then this is more of the same color as the sleeves are going to be. Skin tone browns. I think that belt inside is black, silver. Some beautiful detail on this. Now Mike printed this up for me. This is a large. I'll show you guys. This guy's a beast. I had pictures up, and I'll show you the pictures of it. 100% Bob. What's up, brother? So what I'm doing now is I am just knocking down the little nipples there from the. You have these little nips where the supports were at. And I want to sand that down as smooth as I can get it. So when you make the two together, it's as flush as you can get it. Pretty flush. Now these pieces here, take it, go inside there. That's going to be rough to get them to marry up into that. It can be done. Just gotta work it here and there. And I'm not really concerned about that. I might even cut those off. We'll see. Again, I'm just looking for any imperfections that I have to clean up. So this one's going to get cleaned up and primed today. I was looking, I'm not too sure about this. This is the sword. Now, it was really, because these things, something this long and this thin is usually hard to 3D print. So, what I did was I glued it together, and then I took some 2-part epoxy and just brushed it on both ends to give it some strength and stability. I think the problem I'm having now is this piece here that slides inside here. This is hollow in there. So what I think I'm going to end up doing is running where's it at? Running a brass rod inside this thing. It'll probably go about to here. I think that's as far as me. I might even go all the way to about here to give it that extra stability. And then drill a hole in here and then run it in. So I might, just to keep this, because the way this sits, let me show you guys. You know, you gotta, Mike was telling me he didn't have too much confidence in that, I mean, you could use it. It's strong. The way I did it was I coated it with a 2-part resin epoxy, let it dry overnight. It's stiff. So I might end up using it. Or I might, you see here, this piece of sheet or styrene, I might just carve a new one. We'll see. But I'm thinking that if I use that rod and run the rod all the way to the end here, glue it in there, run it all the way to the end, drill it in here, bring it into about maybe here, because this is probably hollow on the inside. Once I start drilling, I'll be hollow, so I can run it all the way through. And then stick that in there, so I'll have a rod that goes from here to here, and that should give me the stability, because see how he stands? He'll be like this. So that will be up in the air like that. So I'm worried about sag happening right here to where it'll droop it. I think now that I've coated this with a 2-part resin, and then I epoxy resin, and I stick that brass rod through there and glue it to the top of this, I think that'll give it the stability that I'm looking for. And she should be fine. So that's what I'm going to do with this. You know, instead of going busting my chops trying to carve a new one. That so far, I mean, I didn't realize that was going to be, I mean, I was hoping that it would give it the stability it did, and it really did, you know, by putting my 2-part resin on there. So now I'm checking see here on the Suba, I got to do a little filing. Which is no biggie. I'm also, well, partner, what's going on? I am also streaming on Twitch. If you guys do Twitch, you know, give me a like there. You know, it doesn't cost you anything to like there. I'm trying to build up an audience there and have do like a podcast type thing, but I'd like to do it over on Twitch and then bring it over to here, but have people come over there and of all the filing community like I used to before I walked away. Josh does it right now, so I know that he sends his over to Twitch also. So we need to build up that community, man. Hey, Chopper. So what you guys see me doing right now is a lot of times here. I'll give it. Let me move my. I am sorry, guys. I hit the button on the damn microphone. Okay. And here I was talking the whole time. And thanks, Chopper. Frank and me. Okay, what I was saying was, when you work with resin, whether it be 3D or traditional casted resin, there's always some cleanup involved. I don't care who you get it from. You're going to have cleanup involved. Now, with the 3D resin, then you get it with the other, with traditional. But with the 3D, you get the blocks, and you got to cut them off, sand them off, file it down. With 3D, as with the PLA, you have supports. So now with the supports here, let me turn this damn music off. Give me a second here. There, it was driving me nuts, man. Frankie B, the man. Sorry about me hitting that damn button on that. Anyway, so take a few minutes. I usually, depending on how big they are, I'll take my X-Acto knife, and you know how you got that bevel there. I'll lay the bevel down. And I just run it right across, and they come right off. Shaves them right off. Then I go in with a whatever sanding stick you use and a buffing pad, and I'll buff it down, so it's nice and flat. Now, if you're watching a few minutes earlier, this was buffed down, but this wasn't. It was still rough. And I had about that much of a gap in there. See that gap? I just cleaned it up, and now I close it, no gap, very little. You know, that doesn't even warrant any kind of filler, because once you glue it down there, you have that little raised edge there. See, on both ends. Here you might need a little bit, but other than that, yeah, just a very little bit right in there. What I'm doing now is, like I was saying, on 3D print, because the way it prints, you end up with these little circles sometimes. I don't know what they call them. Mike would be able to tell you. But you end up on the high ends, like on the forehead of a figure, like say her, but she doesn't have it, you know, on the forehead. Let me put this back on there. I have Ashoka here. Let me show you her. She had a little bit of it, very, very little. This is a test print. This was not a print that was meant to be sold. Mike sent it to me so I could paint it. He knows I love me some Ashoka. Let me get her hands and her sabers off to the side. And these are her arms here. So she had just a very faint piece of it here. I sanded it, you know, layer lines. I took a buffing pad. This one's from UMP. You can get them at if you don't want to do a UMP, you can get them through I don't know, Walgreens. You can find a nail buffing pad. But this is pretty good. I like these UMP buffing pads. So you go in, like on any high parts, like on her breast here, you might see it. Here, there isn't there. Every now and then you'll find it on the crown, like right here of the head. It's not there. He did a good job on this one, because you don't even see it on the shoulders. You know, sometimes you'll catch it on the high end of the shoulder, like right there. But no, she doesn't have it. This is Ashoka, guys. Ny3dCreations.com if you guys are looking for one. This is a 1/8 scale. You know, the Sephiroth, just to give you an example, this is a 1/6 scale, and this is just his waist without his legs. That'll show you how big this boy is. Once you put his legs on, I mean, this is a very large figure, guys. There's his upper torso right there. Yeah, shows you just how big he is. This is a big guy. My grandson might be. So that's what I'm doing today, guys. I was testing out my Twitch. Let me see what's happening over there. Give me a second here. Yeah, I'm testing out my Twitch. Sorry. I can hear myself over here on Twitch, and I'm trying to figure. I'll have to play around with this to figure out a way to mute myself there. But I can't. I was gonna try to send this to Facebook, but I'm still, you know, the overlords over there still got me on a ban. That ban won't be lifted for another 2 weeks. So, okay, we got that one arm. This one here so far looks good. This is his hand that goes in here. This won't be glued in until the very last, because I'm thinking about putting a magnet in there, dropping a magnet like here and in there, and then when you put them on there, this is for my daughter, that she can remove this anytime she wants, you know, with a magnet. We'll see. We'll see. So that fits pretty good. All right, let me get rid of this for now. Now let's go to the other shoulder. Where did I do it? Right here. And again, you could see, I don't know if you can see that. Let me see if I can. Here comes my grandson. Hi. I'm doing a live thing, buddy. How you doing, buddy? I missed you. Watch out. I got a thing of water there. Be careful. I missed you, buddy.
Weak. I missed you too.
I love you. Go upstairs and I'll be upstairs in a little bit, okay?
Okay.
All right. So here you can see those little dots there. That's from the supports. Here you can see them from the supports. Very easy to clean up. Again, what I do is I take my X-Acto. Now this is a piece of that stuck to the side, and then I just very carefully. I don't want to mess with this piece right here, because that's where the wing locks into here and into here. But what I want to do is make sure this is as flat as I can get it. So when I put it on the get it on that torso, I've got no give or no spacing there, and it's just flat resin on resin. So, okay, I'm gonna get this here. Let me get this one here. Now I'm using an aggressive sander on the inside because I'm not really worried about any scratches and stuff inside here. I won't use this though. I'll try not to use this on the outside. I hope I don't have to. And I was looking it over yesterday, and I don't have to. Even on the wing, there's a few parts there where I have to go in and clean it up. But I won't use an aggressive sander on it. Okay, we got this. Cleared up. That's cleaned up. Cleaned up. Now I'll buff it. And then I want to check the fit. That's all I'm after right now is the fit. And I cleaned that the other day, yesterday. So look at that. Still need a little right there. He's going to clamp down like that. There'll be some filler in the back. Very little. I don't even think I have to. If I hold it, should be fine. All right, now let's get to that. Here, you have those right there. Oh, very light buffer. Those are where there we go. That's where you had the supports where it was supported, I would imagine, like so, upside down. And I'm going in a circular motion. See, I don't have that circular build line there. There it is there, but that's not deep. Once I hit this with a primer filler, gone. These need a little bit more aggression right there. Just a scotch to knock them down. Once I hit it with that primer filler, you're not going to see any of that. This is going to be smooth as an eggshell. It's got a little texture on there, so I don't want to lose most of it. But I do want to get that so where you don't see it, it's nice and rounded there. I don't know if you guys got your bust, man, your elf bust for the Way of the Dragon. We're going to be doing, the guys are going to be painting along with me and trying to mirror what I do, you know. So remember, it'll be May 14th, 2 p.m. right here on this channel. See now here, these little nipples are from the supports, so I'll just with the tip of my I'm going in on an angle of the bevel, so I don't scratch the resin. And then here, same thing. So I'm just knocking off the high points, and then I'll go in with a sander. And just to clean them up a little bit. All right, let me get this brass rod out of the way. Like for the inside, of course, I'm going to use, these are those cheap ones you buy at Hobby Lobby. You know, you buy a pack of them. Little sanding sticks. They work good for this stuff in here. You can also use a file. The file's quicker. Problem with a file is you can't bend it with your finger to go around curves. See, I'm bending it. I'll go ahead and buff that out. Take the little buffing pad and try to get as much of that in there as I can. Buff that down. See, I can see the layer line right there. I'll just come down to here. I don't see anything there. Yes, I do right here. Those layer lines almost look like a fingerprint, you know. And if you're not careful and you paint something and that fingerprint peeks through there, look, that layer line, it looks like you put your finger there. So this is how I clean them up. There's nothing here, which is nice. So which tells me this was printed like this. So all the layer lines, most of them, if you have any, will be here. And then right inside here, but I'm not worried about that. And then your supports were here. So this must have been like that on an angle maybe. I don't print, so I don't know. I just paint them, bro. I just paint them. All right. Let's get that back on there. So there it is. Look at that. Remember that real bad gap I had there? Look at that. Now, this gap you won't worry. I'm not worried about because the wing sits in here. You don't see that. Down in here, I might put it in this part right here. I might just squeeze a little of what I use, guys, is Abe's Epoxy Sculpt. I also have the Magic Sculpt, but for that stuff, for this, I use the epoxy paste. This stuff is it's like peanut butter, and then the safety solvent to smooth everything down. You'll see me do it. I'll do it on here. I'm not gonna do it right now, but because I got a lot of cleanup to do, and then I'll do a lot of test fitting. But when I get ready to start putting him together and I'm using the Aves and the safety solvent, you'll see what I'm doing. I did that with the dragon that I did that big what is it? Dragon Slayer, the dragon. But see, now that you see that, now you get those on there. Look how nice that fits. See? Look at that. Once that's all glued down, you don't see none of it. See? This I'm not concerned about this. It'll be I'll use a 2-part resin to glue this down, and then I'll scooch a little bit of glue, CA glue in there just to hold it while that 6-minute epoxy, 5-minute epoxy glues. But yeah, there it is right there. That's it. And then his head, I just did all that. I cleaned up the hair. You have these 2 holes here. Now people ask, yeah, you can use it on there, depending on. I've used it on. I took a Mopar. I took a Godzilla. Here, let me show you. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Give me a second here. I'm glad you said that, Mopar. This is a toy Godzilla that my grandson gave me. This is, and I repainted it. This you guys remember the Godzilla movie when this came out? So I repainted it. Well, the legs were movable, the tail was, and the arms. So what I did was I glued the legs and the arms down, and then I used the epoxy sculpt in here. So you can't even tell. All that's epoxy sculpt. All of it. And the same with right here. There was a line. I didn't worry about this one because it blended in with the scales, but underneath here, that was all done with the epoxy sculpt. And back here, that was all done with the epoxy sculpt. So yeah, this one was Mopar. I'm a big Godzilla fan, man. Everybody knows that. But yeah, I took this one, I repainted it, and used the epoxy sculpt to cover up the joints, and then used the epoxy sculpt to resculpt. Like in here, inside here, all these joints in there, and then the arms. That was all resculpted with that epoxy sculpt. See that? All right in here. In here. He's gonna get excited because I'm rubbing his belly there. All up in here, you know. So yeah. Yeah, you can do that with that Mopar. But I'll tell you what, even with the regular epoxy sculpt, you can get the regular epoxy sculpt and you can get the paste. It's good. The water to smooth it down is really good, but nothing smooths down that like safety solvent. It's expensive. It costs a lot of money. It's not cheap, but in the grand scheme of things, you'll have this bottle. This little bottle has lasted me that Godzilla, the two dragons, and about, I don't know, 15 figures. This little bottle has lasted me. So what you do is you put a little bit in like say a little glass thing, you put a little bit in there. And when you're making your epoxy sculpt, you put a little bit on your finger and you roll it into the epoxy sculpt and it softens it. So when you put it down, it's easier to work with. If you're using the paste, once you mix up the paste and you put it down, you wet your brush and you can smooth it with a paintbrush. It's really good. Yeah, it's really good stuff. So that's what I'll be using. This stuff here, the two-part epoxy paste, I'll be using on him. See, like here, I gotta clean up the hair, the top. I gotta be careful as I take this off. I gotta sand this down just a scotch, and then when I lay the hair in there, right in here, there's a seam. So I'll be using that paste to cover that seam. But I want to paint his face first, and then I'll cover his face. Well, I don't know. That's gonna be rough. That's going to be rough. Man, we'll see. We'll get it. I'll airbrush. Yeah, because the hair's white. So I'll be able to do that, get that in there. But these, what I was getting, Abe's Epoxy Sculpt. I'll put it right here. It's called Abe's. There it is, Abe's Epoxy Sculpt Chopper. Now you can get the regular or the paste. I have both. When I'm sculpting stuff and I got a big thing to fill, I'll use the regular stuff. When I've got little seams like this stuff here to fill, even on cars, guys, when you say you do a chop on a car and you wanna do those fillers, the A-pillars, you can put a little bit of that epoxy sculpt in there, or you can use a little bit of this. Once it's hard, it's rock hard, man. It ain't going nowhere. But with that, then you take a brush and a little brush, like this is the brush I use, and you just take a little brush and you just do this. You dip it inside the safety solvent. What did I do with the bottle? You take a little bit of this, the safety solvent. It's made by Abe's also. You can find this on Amazon. You can take that Abe's and then you can just rub it like this, just dip it inside this stuff here, and then like if it was water, and then just run it right down, and it's beautiful, man. You'll love this stuff. You won't be using a regular car filler anymore. You start using that. Hey, Todd, thank you very much, brother. Yeah, let me see. Hold on. Let me see if I've got it here, Chop. Give me a second. Where is it? That's the Sculpt. Sculpt. Where's the paste? I know I got it here because I ordered it from Amazon. There's the Sculpt. Sculpt. Give me a second. It's here. Shit, you're right. I don't see it. Super Sculpt. That's not what I'm looking for. Sculpt. I don't see the paste. It must be out. I have the link for it, Chop. Yeah. I think they have it at I think I've seen it at Hobby Lobby, and I'm almost positive I saw it at Michael's. I don't know, but yeah, that's what you need, Chop. I mean, that stuff. This stuff is the epoxy paste. Make sure when you pick this up, Chop, you pick up some of this, the safety solvent. You'll thank me later, brother. I'm telling you. With this stuff here, you don't need a lot. You just put a little bit. You dip your brush in there and you smooth it out, man. Let it dry. You do a light sanding. You don't even see a seam line anymore. It's gone. Seam line's gone. So what I was getting at now, I got a question the other day when I posted the pictures on of this guy on TikTok. They asked why those holes were there. I will not buy a figure if I don't see those holes. Not necessarily here, but sometimes you'll find them on the feet. You'll find them here, there. So you'll find it on the legs. If I pull his foot off, there they are there. And the reason those are there, guys, and if somebody tries to sell you a resin figure that does not have these pore lines in there, or any way for that resin that's inside there to escape, that resin inside will never cure. So Mike is really good about that. So when he makes these, he's got a way. And then when you wash it, when he runs it through the wash before he sends it to you, he runs it through its wash. I think it's an isopropyl bath, and then water. I think. I know isopropyl is involved, and it empties out through there. So any resin that's left inside there, when you go run it through the wash, comes out, seeps out. That's why those holes are there. That's why those holes are there. Now, what I will do, now see, this is a two-part, watch this. This is how cool this thing is. If I can get this off without breaking, I don't want to break it. Don't break it, Gil, don't break it. See, there it is. See, there's your hole lines right there. See your vent holes right there. So what I'm going to do with this is I usually fill those with I usually fill those with a sprue, a piece of sprue. Yeah, let me get a piece of sprue. So I'll have a piece of sprue. I save save your sprues, man. They make good fillers. So I'll take a piece of sprue. I got shit everywhere. Sorry, guys. I hit the button, dumbass. I keep hitting my mouse. I hit my mouse over here, and it knocked me off air for a second. Sorry about that. Make sure I'm okay over here on yeah. Okie dokie. What are we doing here, Gil? Sorry, I'm trying to figure out what I got 3 streams going at one time. Okay, I'm sorry. So I'll take a piece of sprue. This might be too small, but we'll see. And then I just glue it inside there, just like that. Now what I'll do, whatever's left over, I'll fill it in with epoxy Sculpt. But yeah, there it is right there. So that's what I use to fill in these holes. And then once that's done, I'll go in and I'll start, shaping it to fit the curves and everything that these are in. I'll get a scriber and scribe the lines. This is too small though. I need a bigger, and I have some bigger sprue, but that's what I'll end up putting inside here to fill those pore holes. These I'm not worried about because again, they lock in here and they're up underneath, so you're never going to see them. See, you're never going to see them. So I'm not worried about that. But this hair, here, let me work on it now. I've gotten the shoulders done. So let me move him off to the side. The shoulders and the belt are done. This is what I need to work on now. So Um, get this out of the way. I don't need this at the moment. Just want to make sure all this is cool. All right, the hair is good. I don't have to worry about the hair. This big boy is what I'm worried about. Now it's in 3 pieces, as you can see. So I got to be careful. There's 1 piece. And there's the other piece. There's 3 pieces. So here, where's that file? Like I said, I got shit everywhere. What I'm going to use is a round file. Let's see what I got here. I use that one. I'll use those 2. So I'll take my diamond one first. I need to, there's a, right here, there's some, I need to clear off like right there. Comes right off. See, it's just when it dried, the resin dried right on top of it. So that's an easy fix. Just like so. Take my file. Make sure I reestablish that line there. So I'll come in here. Just like so. I get a bigger file now. I just want to, you know what? No, I think I can do it with this. There's a piece. There you go. Pop that piece right off. And then take my buffer. And there it is. Cleaned it up. Again, this is all going to be covered, so you're not going to see any of this. But being that the wing is a very big part of who Sephiroth is, the one-wing angel. Final Fantasy VII, for those of you who don't know who he is. He's a bad guy in that. Final Fantasy VII. Bad guy. And there was just a little bit here left over, and I'll just carve that right off. Same thing here. Just careful not to crack it. And then right across there. Just like so. You know, a lot of this that I'm working on right now, you're never going to see it. I will. I know it's there. This is going to my daughter, so I want to make sure she gets some of the best work I can give her. So, it's funny because I did the Eric Draven, the Crow, for my daughter Alexis, and I never heard the end of it. So I was like, okay. So we went looking for this and found it, and I asked Mike. I said, "Hey, Mike, can you do this for me?" And I saw he was like, that's a lot of resin, Gil. I said, "Yeah." He said, "What size you want it?" I said, "It's got to be 1/6 scale, Mike." I gotta have it the same size as that Eric Draven, or I'll never hear the end of it. So this one is actually going to be a lot bigger than that Eric Draven I did. A lot, drastically bigger. And you know, when I'm done with them, I'll have them side by side and show you. Again, this is something that Mikey over at Ny3dCreations. This is the products that he. This is what he does for a living. If you guys are looking for something, you know, you can get a hold of him. You just got to remember that when you're asking for custom pieces like this, man, they're not cheap. At least this one wasn't. Well, you know what? With Mike, he usually has competitive rates, and his stuff isn't as high as other people's that give you shittier work, you know. So, I you know, for those of you that have asked how come I don't get my own printer, well, because I don't want to have to do that. I don't want the hassle of having a printer in my house. It's bad enough I lose my mind when it comes to this stuff, you know. I don't need another thing to distract me. That's why I don't get a printer. I just like to paint them, man. That's my bread. That's my jam, brother. That's my aqua boogie, is painting them. So as you see, I'm just fixing where I carved it out and just those little bitty imperfections that are in there that I need to get straightened out. Once this is hit with the primer filler, I use a SEM automotive primer filler. It's not cheap. It cost me about $22 a can, but it's probably some of the best primer filler you can get. It's really good. You don't need to get that stuff though. I mean, that's what I use. Mike suggested it a while back, and I bought a can. And when I'm doing these figures, that's what I use. You can use Stynylrez. It'll hold real good on this. But I like the automotive, the lacquer, you know, whatever it is. I don't know. Is it a lacquer? I have to take a look. Dries like one. Hit it with a blow dryer. As long as you don't get it too thick. You hit it with a blow dryer and poof, done it over with. I'm usually working on the model within the hour. So, all right, that's done. I'm just checking to make sure I got everything. Let's go in and with a little sanding stick. I'll go in with a sanding stick now, and I'm just going to smooth everything down. Hey, buddy. Hey, guess what I saw? Hey, come here. Where's Thorn? Come here, Will. Give me a second, guys. I need to say something. Guess what I saw at the hobby store?
What?
They have Mario RC cars with Mario sitting on it.
That's so cool.
You and I are going to have a long talk today because you know what we're going to talk about. And you give me greens all week, and I'll buy one for you. But I saw at the hobby store they had Mario Kart RCs. It's about this big.
Oh yeah, is it the Nintendo Switch one?
No. What you're thinking about is something different. It's an actual RC car.
Yeah, you can take it outside. It's a remote control car with Mario sitting on it on this car, and then they got one with the Yoshi. Mm-hmm. So
Cheeto bean burritos.
Yeah.
Here,
So okay, go ahead upstairs now. I'll talk to you. Sorry, guys. I was talking to my grandson. I hadn't seen him all week, so I get pretty excited when he's home. He was with his dad's all week for spring break. So now what I'm doing is I'm just taking this is a Flory stick, so I couldn't tell you what the damn, because Flory doesn't mark with his great sanders, but he doesn't mark them, so you don't know what you're using. Feels like maybe a 600 grit. So I'll go in and just very carefully smooth everything out on those wings. See that? It had a line going across there. I'll take my UMP buffer. And buff that. Now, here, it's got those lines like I was talking about. I'm not concerned about scratches on the inside. I just want to make sure that those little nipples are knocked down. Got that done. That's done. I want this when it marries up to the other pieces. It's smooth. It sits smooth. So that's why you want to clean all this up. This is good here. This goes in here and locks in like butter. Look at that. Before I hit this with a primer, I'm going to go over it with some isopropyl alcohol and a rag, wipe everything down. Again, I'm going to come in here now, make sure there's no little imperfections showing. Like there's one right there. I'll knock that down. There's one there. There's a couple right here. You know, people wonder why I charge what I charge for these. Well, number one, I got to buy them when I do a commission. I don't look for commission work, but sometimes it comes my way. But this is it. All the work that comes in, I can spend all day right here. Smooth. Not that you have to, but I do it. I go in there and I make sure when I do a commission piece. I mean, my own, I'm not as diligent. Sometimes I just race because I'm so excited to paint it that I overlook stuff. I need to stop that because I end up screwing up my own shit. But when I do it for people, you better believe I go over it with a fine-tooth comb, like I'm doing now. This is for my daughter. This is not going to sit in my house. So I'm making sure that every little detail that I can see that shouldn't be there is gone. See, like on the back here, you got where right here. Those are the little spots that you just go in very carefully and just, they come right off. You just pop them right off. See, if you dig at them or if you yank at that at the support when you get it and you just crack it, sometimes you'll leave a hole that looks like a pit, and then you got to sand that down or fill it. So if you're careful, you don't have to do that. Sometimes it can't be helped. Okay, I think I got those. So, okay, I got everything on this end. Turn it over. And there's a few spots here. Like right, oh, no, that wasn't one. Like right here. You know, I tried to put this on Facebook, but I'm still on a ban. That Mark Zuckerberg smacked me because of a meme that I put up 2 years ago. And then the second one I got a suspension is because my daughter, the one that this is for, I was messing with her and I left a comment on something of hers and somebody turned me in, said I was it was a hateful comment. I was like, what? But anyway, Facebook is starting to aggravate me. The only reason I stick around there is because of the groups. Okay, so that part's done. So let's lock that back in there. And go to the final part. And I think this is pretty good. There's a few parts there. I don't see anything here. Yeah, I don't see anything back here. Just needs to be dusted. Inside here needs, okay. All right, now I'll get the a little isopropyl. What did I do with my isopropyl? There it is. I get a little isopropyl. That's what's in here. I'll take that. Not a paper towel. If there's any, see, that's where the pore lines come in. You know, sometimes, you know, I don't care how much you clean it out, you're still going to get a little bit. So there it is. And I'll just take it and wipe it down. All right. Close that up. Remember, guys, I mean, I know I've said it. There's only 6 people watching, but I know I've said it before. If anybody's watching, so if you do Twitch, let me grab my channel from Twitch, and I'll put that in the comments. This is my Twitch channel. If you guys do Twitch, there it is. Come check it out. Again, this is the first time I'm streaming on Twitch, so you know I don't have all those fancy chingaderas that are on there. You know, all the loots and all that stuff. I'd have to talk to people that are better off with this than I am. Okay, back to this. This is the last part of the wing. So. I'll take this. You know what? Yeah, this will work. I was going to get a curved blade, but this will do it. All I want to do is come in here and just clean this up right in there just a little bit. Right there. Those little bitty spots, believe it or not, they will affect how everything sits if you don't clean it up real good. So yeah, I'm going to try my hand at the Twitch thing, guys. And whatever I'm doing on Twitch, of course, I'll start. I got to start working on my my channel again. I've neglected it for so long. I just got burnt out, man. You know, got burnt out. It was starting to get, you know, I got tired of the drama. I got tired of the nonsense, you know, so I just walked away from it. Been doing it for years, and it got to the point where I just couldn't deal with it anymore. All right, this is what goes into the back. This is the part that sits here. And that's beautiful. Look at that. So this can be, I see now, my finger, I found more spots. Right there. And right here. Right there. See, believe it or not, guys, all of these little pieces, these things that I'm doing right now, if you don't take care of them now and you add paint to this, you will see all of this later. Especially this wing. This wing's going to be a couple of different shades of gray. It's going to have a little bit of right in here, some blues and just a hint of red, maybe like a gloss or a glaze with the blues and the yellows in here, just a little bit, but for the most part, it's gray. And then you'll have a little white overlay, just a little bit, dry brushed over it. But like in here, like up in here, you'll have like blues, and then in here, blue. Like I don't use black for shadows. So, in here, or a carbon black, which is an off black. And you can use that in here, carbon black ink for shades. That's another stuff that I use. The carbon black I use is the AK. Let me show you. It's this stuff right here. I use two kinds. I use sooty black, and I use. Let me hold on. Give me a second. Where's high altitude? Okay. You can get these from Brother Brett. He's a member of our community. I always ask you guys, if you're going to order something, man, you buy from the people that are in our community, Now, here is Brett's Facebook page, High Altitude Hobbies. It's going up in the comments. And I get these from him. AK, I love these things. Sooty black and carbon black. These are really good. The sooty black is, again, it's not black. It's almost a dark gray. And then the carbon black is not black, but it's got that grayish tint to it. These are great for shadows. Dominic says, can I put a little bead of putty between the edges of the joints and let it squeeze out? Yeah, you can. Sure you can. I do it all the time. I'll put or like say some epoxy sculpt, a little bead of it here. And then when I go to put this in here like this and I squeeze it down and glue it, I'll put of course, there's CA glue on this, and I'll put some epoxy sculpt in, and I'll put a couple of beads of glue on the epoxy sculpt, and then I'll take this and squeeze it, and then whatever squeezes out, then I'll clear that out. Yeah, you can do that. That's old school method, man. We're talking about the new stuff, man. The new jack swing. All right, we're talking about the new jack swing here, Dominic. But yeah, you could do it, Dom. Sure you can. Let me see. Do we need a little music? Huh? Let's see what kind of music these fuckers got. That's terrible. That's bad. Feeding the ducks. That's what that was. Into space. Night driving. Rock. Add music to your stream. I guess this is the only music they got. Well, let's see. Background is not in solo layout. Let's see what else we got. What other kind of layout we got here? We got that one. No, it's not going to help me because I'm doing it in solo, so it doesn't matter. I think, let's see. What Dominic, right there, Dominic. So yeah, there's the wing. It's a beautifully printed piece. I mean, the detail on this thing is just, fucking Mike, you did a hell of a job. This is going to be beautiful when I get ready to paint it up. What's going on, buddy?
I'm just going to put a gallon of milk.
So this guy, I think what I'll do is when I get ready to do that, yeah. So I'm done working on him for today. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start working on Ashoka here. I could paint these off of her because it's, let me get this off. It fits really. Mike's done a good job of printing this. That it's a nice tight fit. Where did I do my green stuff? Shit, I don't know. There it is. So he's done a nice job of it. So I'll take this. I'm gonna try to I don't like recording videos anymore. It's a pain in the rear end. And not only that, if I make a mistake, it's very easy. You know, I can take it. You know, all of us do it. We can re-edit it. Nah, go live, man. You get the warts and all. The hell with it. At least that's what I'm gonna do. You know, same thing when I'm painting Ashoka and when I'm painting Sephiroth. That's all gonna be done here. Also, remember on the 14th, we're gonna do that one, May 14th. Hey, Dominic, are you gonna be able to hang out with us on the 14th? I moved it back, you know, because I know that you're working crazy hours this month. I don't know if you're going to be working those crazy hours in May. So, no, I can still hear that. Damn, I thought I lowered it. There. On Twitch. Okay. All right. So I think what I can do, I can probably get away with, because those don't look like they're going to need a lot of filler. I don't know. I know this one doesn't. Well, she needs a little. Well, no, that one's good. This one might need a little bit right in there, just a scotch. Again, this is a test print that he sent me. So what I was thinking about was I have a small Baby Yoda and have her standing there looking down at the Baby Yoda. She came with 2 lightsabers that you can hang here, but one of them was broken. So I'm gonna put her with her lightsabers out and her looking at you, you know. So I gotta figure out. Excuse me. It's my godson. So let me. I'm sorry. So I gotta find a nice plinth for her, and then I want to put a background like some trees, like a cave or whatever, and then her standing there looking, you know, like make it real dark, you know, like she's coming out at Vader, because she was Anakin's Padawan. Week by week. Okay, Dominic. So this one is the one I'm going to start working on. I'm going to prime her, paint her, and then I'll go in later on and do all the freehand work, because these are going to be like a teal off blue, almost a Payne's gray, almost bluish, and then the white on her eyes here, or the white piece that she's got coming across her forehead and down up in here. This is going to be fun to paint. So, but yeah, now let me get to this. This is his, again, it's a beautiful the way it locks in there. Everything locks in here. Problem, these are supposed to like lock into there. So it gives it added support. I'm just worried about I can't get them like this one here. If I can get them to line up, it'll be fine. It's just, I can get them in there. It's just going to be a fucking pain in the ass. So I might just, see, I can't get them. And once this is painted and you're trying to put it together, it's not cool. So, okay, I'm trying to get those 2. I might cut those off. Yeah, I think I'm going to cut those off. It'd be easier for me to work with them if they were cut off. So I'll cut those off. Because once this is all glued down, that's not going to move anyway. So. I'll go ahead and nip those right now. I'll sand that down later. There you see that? Look at that. I should be able to hang out, but playing along live could be an issue. I won't take spot if you have people who want to work live. Yeah, no. I understand, Dominic. I understand. So we'll figure it out, bro. So there he is. That's how. And then you got, here's the legs. If I can get them on the stand. There's one. Everything fits nice and tight too in there. So this one goes there. This is just giving you an idea how big this bitch is. This one goes here. So there's that. And then you have his head. I don't have the other piece of hair in there. So that's how big that boy is. Then you got the hair, and then you got the wing that comes in behind him. And then you got, what did I do with it? Well, come on. This goes here. Let me get that in there. That goes there, just like that. Nice katana. And then the blade. God darn it. See, that blade goes in there. That. See, it's hard when you're mocking these up. You don't want to break anything, so you got to be real careful you don't snap anything. So let's get that in there. Let's get this like this. There's that. Make sure that's there, and then that katana. There. There. Is that crazy? That, and then he stands like so. There he is, Sephiroth. So anyway, yeah, that's where we're at now. So I'm going to keep working. Let me lay this down. Keep working on him. I can glue his legs on. Let's do that now. You know that's not going to be a problem gluing the legs on. I just got to be careful when I take these off. I don't break anything. Come on. Slide that off. Slide that off. And then you got one. Two. So I think I'm going to go ahead and glue the legs down today. So I want to get them inside here, inside the base. So when I glue it down, I have, and when it's drying, it doesn't, tip over or whatever. So, all right, I've been going on for an hour and a half, guys. Thank you for watching. This is what we're working on right here. We have Sephiroth. That's this mess right here. You have Ashoka in the background there. That's the Way of the Dragon bust that we're going to be doing on May 14th. Once the guys have all started to get theirs, we'll work with that. But yeah, that's what I'm working on today. I'm not touching her. She's perfect. All I got to do is prime her, and that'll probably be done this weekend, today or tomorrow. But these two are what I'm working on now. More this than anything else. So anyway, yeah, this is. Let me put him up here so you guys can see him. Again, he's not 100% put together. There's pieces of him everywhere. But this, folks, if you know your video gaming, that's Sephiroth from Final Fantasy. This is his other part of his hair that goes in here like that. Well, come on, right there. Right there. It goes right in there. Why is this crooked? So there, so there's Sephiroth. I know you see the thing in the background. Let me put his hair in there. This is going to be a joy to paint. There's a lot of white, a lot of blacks. He's there's not a lot of color to him, but it's just different gradients of black. So yeah, there's his hair. There he is. See him? There he is. Good old Sephiroth. And then his two hands, his petticoats, or whatever you want to call it, from his coat. His katana. And then I got the blade back there. But yeah, that's what I'm working on today, guys. So make sure that everything is cleaned up, smoothed out, and then he'll be ready for primer. So these will all be primed. The inside will be painted a darker color than the outside, of course. And then once this is painted, I'll put these on, mask everything off, and then paint these. So, but yeah, that's where we're at, guys. Thank you for watching, man. You guys have a great Sunday. There'll be more updates. I'll post another one tomorrow as I'm working on this guy. It'll be on here, and it'll also be on Twitch, man. Thank you guys for watching. You have a great Sunday, man. If there's any questions, please get a hold of me. If you would like something like this is a 1/6 scale. The banner down at the bottom, it's Ny3dCreations.com. Or if there's anything you see on my desk that's 3D related, most 99.9% of the time I get them through Mikey. No, he doesn't sponsor me. I just like his products. He's a friend of the community. He's part of our community, and he'll hook you up, man. Ny3dCreations.com. You guys have a good one, man. Have a great Sunday. Leave the drama to the queens, brothers. Ciao.